everyone, welcome back to my channel, Martine the Naturopath here. Today we're going to be talking about breathing and what we can learn from singers and vocalists and how to use this as a stress management technique. So it seems like a whole lot of array there, so let's jump right into it. So for starters, I think we all know and can agree that breathing is important in our daily lives, but I don't think that a lot of people are necessarily mindful of how they breathe most of the time. So although it is technically an involuntary action that our brain takes care of for us, we should try to be mindful of our breath because it can indicate, if nothing else, how we're dealing with stress, and also inversely can be affected by stress. So if you've ever noticed that sometimes if you're in a stressful situation, notice how you're breathing. You're most likely breathing from up here, up in your chest. Probably very shallow, quick breaths. Probably maybe just through the mouth too. So what this is not a full, complete breath. So you're not getting the amount of oxygen that your body should be getting. And because your body thinks it's in a stressful situation, it's gonna try and get more oxygen from you. And so if you're doing these inefficient little breaths, that's where people can start having signs like hyperventilation. So that's what that is. But otherwise, if you're mindful, you notice where your breath is coming from, you can also start controlling and training yourself to have a more calm breathing. So, and the reason I chose singing as a topic was that I found for myself, I noticed a huge difference. So during the last 2 years in the pandemic, I decided that I would sign up for some online vocal classes. It's something I'd never done before. But I was home and I didn't have a whole lot to do. So that's what happened. And after a while, I noticed that my breathing on a day-to-day was changing. So why is this? Basically, the fundamentals of singing, the very first thing they teach you is how to breathe. You wouldn't think that there's such a thing as being good or bad at breathing, but I found out that I was a very bad breather. I mean, I kind of already knew that, but anyways, this reinforced this, and through a lot of breath exercises from the vocal classes, I learned to retrain myself how to breathe properly. So how did that go? Well, one of the exercises that we did, and I invite you all to try this at home, regardless of if you're actually going to follow through with singing or not, because you can also just do this as kind of training your breath. Number one is really the belly breath. So we've already talked about this in one of my other videos. You've probably already heard about this in yoga videos. Is really getting the breath from low down. So I'll just show you on myself for a second. So you're really aiming to expand this part of your belly when you're breathing in. So in and out. And you see it's really making kind of like a pregnant belly. Looks great. Don't be self-conscious about that. That's fine. And you'll notice when I'm doing this, I'm not just breathing from down here. It's expanding all the way up. It's really expanding to my whole rib cage. And when I'm breathing out, I'm also breathing from the bottom and expelling it upwards. So that's really number one, where your breath should be coming from. So, and coming back to that, in terms of singing, why that's important is if you're trying to get those really solid, confident notes to sound nice, is you want to have that proper breath support from way down. If you're doing it from your chest, you're most likely not going to get that smooth tone that you might waver, you might break, or cut out, whatever. So, but again, this on the health side, the stress side, is that this really helps make sure that you're getting your full lungs full of air, so that you're not cutting yourself short. You're getting all the oxygen that you need. In addition, doing these belly breaths, it also can help with people who have digestive issues related to stress, because it sort of gives an internal organ massage, because your diaphragm's kind of traveling all the way down to your intestines and then coming back up. It's a nice feeling. It sounds weird, but it's a nice feeling. Trust me. Anyway, so that was number 1. And number 2 was the dog pants. No, I'm not talking about dogs in pants, although those are always very cute to see and hilarious. But in this case, I'm talking about how a dog pants when it's hot. So, and what we do with that in a vocal exercise is that we kind of train our abdominals to have a muscle memory of how to expel the air properly. So again, when you're doing this, is you're breathing in your full air into your belly, and then you're kind of tensing your abdominals. You're pushing it in and pushing the air out. So what that's doing is really, for one, it's strengthening your abdominal muscles. So it might not seem like it, but after you do a few of those, you're actually going to feel it as a bit of an ab workout. Also, I suggest not doing it right after you eat, because if you do it with full force, it can send some energy back upwards. But anyways, so again, what that does is it teaches you proper airflow out. Also, so in terms of singing, what this does, again, it's giving you power. So for those powerful notes, it really juts the sound forward. It brings out the sound from your belly up, and you're using your air more efficiently. Now, how we can take this and relate it back to health and stress management is one of the things that I found when I was doing these exercises and applying them in singing terms, and I actually heard the difference when I would sing, and I would do this method of contracting my abs and pushing the air out after I've taken a big belly breath full of air. So in a way, it gives you not only a physical feeling of your abs tensing, but it also gives you an auditory signal that you can hear the difference. You can hear what your airflow is doing in your voice. And that can give you indicators on how you're breathing. Because if you're breathing, again, from up here, you're most likely not going to be able to sustain or sing very powerfully. You're going to run out of air. You might be panicky. If you're doing it from really low down, you're going to be able to sustain those notes and sing with more power. So in a way, it's just a way to train yourself to learn more about your body, which I think we can always benefit from. So you guys can go ahead and try that at home. Dog pants. So how about once together? So inhale, and then okay, so it's like that. It should feel kind of tiring on the abdominals. Anyways. And then number 3 is the snake hiss. So, this is exactly what it sounds like. It's a snake hissing. So once again, we take one of those full belly breath, full of air, expand up into our lungs. Our whole chest is full of air. And then we let it go completely. We go until there's really no air left in our lungs. very slowly, very controlled through our teeth to make that hissing sound. So again, in terms of singing, why do we do this? It's really more to sustain those long notes and using the air efficiently, making sure that the air is level, is balanced. So particularly important when you have those long notes that just keep going forever, or, passages, that you just kind of have to keep going even though you didn't really have time to take a breath. Ideally you do, but if you can't, that's what you do. And how we relate it back to our stress and our health is really more, again, about balance. Balance of the airflow. But also I found that this one can be used as kind of a slowing down breathing exercise. So I find this one particularly useful when you're actually in a stressful situation. So you're starting to feel that the air rising up to your chest, you're breathing a little bit faster. Try to actively, just take a big mechanical belly breath and let it out really slowly. And you'll start to notice, do it a few times, and slow down your inhale as well. On the second time, the third time, as many times as you do it, slow down your inhale through the nose. And again, I encourage you to make this a full body experience. So when you're breathing in through the belly and the rib cage expanding. So you may have noticed there that I was also using my hands and my arms to kind of make that motion. For me, I found the slow inhale and the exhale. Not everyone loves doing this, but maybe give it a try. Give it a try sometime, see if it works for you. So again, this is something that's going to help you switch from your nervous little sympathetic system when you're stressed out to shift over to the parasympathetic and calm down. So really, really great when you're in those stressful moments and you need to take full amounts of breath so that the oxygen is getting to your brain so that you can think things clearly and calmly. Really great one. So that kind of wraps up what I learned in terms of my singing classes. If you're interested in learning more about singing, I can suggest to you, I strongly suggest actually checking out Chris Liepe on YouTube. He's a great vocal instructor. You can learn a lot from, with a lot of focus on not holding tension in your body, which is another thing that I kind of learned, not learned, but relearned, let's say, in the classes is posture and how not to tense up certain muscles. But I won't go into that today because that's a whole different topic. So you have Chris Liepe. If you're interested in learning more about healthy lifestyles, naturopathy, naturopathic consultations, anything like that, I invite you to like and subscribe to my channel and come check out my website, which will be in the link below. All right, that is it for today. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time for more. Bye.